welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today I just wanted to do a quick video on hiding from yourself. A lot of us, if we're 1000% honest with ourselves, we're hiding from ourselves. There's a part of us that is within us, which I call our inner child, that we try to push away. We don't want to remember. We don't want to know, like maybe we made mistakes in our past. We don't want to know that we made those mistakes. We don't want to remember that, or we don't want to remember times where we were hurt. So we're constantly trying to push down that part of ourselves and running from who we truly are. You may get into relationships or friendships where people want you to be a certain way, and then we hide the true us, what we truly want, what we're truly about, just to fit in, just to feel like we're wanted, just to make sure that we're the it person for that other person. And we spend so much time doing that we lose ourselves. We're in situations constantly where, you know, we're saying we want growth. We want to get to the next stage of our lives. We want to be stronger and healthier, and you know, we want to know what life is all about for us. We want to live up to our fullest potential. Yet we're hiding. We're hiding from just the person that we are at our core, because we don't want people to make fun of us. We don't want people to talk about us. We want people to feel like they can relate to us. So instead of just showing up and being raw and being authentic and, you know, healing those parts of ourselves, healing that inner child that needs to be healed so that we can show up better, we push that away. We put a block up. We block off our mind and say, no, that child doesn't exist. That child never was a part of my life, and they were. And so because of that, you're not able to fully heal who you are. You're just going to continue to mask it, but you have to get down to the soul of the parts of you that are unhealed. It doesn't matter if it's unhealed because of someone else or unhealed because of your own decisions in your past. You need to make sure that you go in and forgive those other people, forgive yourself, and see what it is that you need to overcome that, so that you can continue to grow, instead of attaching yourself to people who have what looks like the life that you want, or who behave in the way that you think you want to behave, or people who show up in the world the way that you think you want to show up in the world, because you're constantly going to be molding like Play-Doh. You know, it's healthy for people to change, yes, but when you're not in tune with who you are, it's not going to feel healthy for you. It's going to feel frustrating. You're going to have a lot of lows, because you're like, okay, I'm climbing this ladder. I'm trying to be like my best friend. I'm trying to be like my sister. I'm trying to be like my brother. I'm trying to be like my wife. I'm trying to be like my husband. You know, I'm trying to live up to what they want me to be or what they think I am. And you're pushing and pushing and pushing, only to find that you can't sustain that. Whatever it is that you've done to reach that point, you're not able to sustain it, because maybe it's not who you are. If you're married and let's say your husband wants you to be a stay-at-home wife, but you know that you enjoy going to work and you enjoy being an entrepreneur and things like that, but your husband just wants you to stay at home with the kids, or just stay at home in general. You may not even have kids. Like, that's beautiful, and the world says like, oh, women should be chasing after that. Women should want a husband who takes care of her. But not every woman is like that. I'm going to be honest, I'm not like that. I would go crazy if I married somebody who did not want me to work, who did not want me to do anything but be a wife and to be a mom. That's not something that I foresee in my future for what I want at this time of my life. And it hasn't ever been a desire of mine. Even as a child, I didn't ever think about getting married and having a man, you know, save me, being a princess and things like that. Yes, while I'm in a relationship, I do love to feel like the princess, the queen of the relationship, but I also want to know that I have my own, I'm using my own talents and I have my own life, you know. And so, you know, if that's you, don't force yourself to stay in this box and say, well, society says that I should admire a man like this. I mean, not saying he's a bad man at all. You know, that's just what he wants. But you don't have to mold to that just because that's what he wants and you like him or you love him. You know, if you guys can't talk about it and come to even common ground where he understands that, okay, no, I don't want that, you know, or you don't want that, and figure out a way to work around it. Maybe compromise. Maybe if he wants you home more, maybe you can work a part-time job. But if he's like absolutely not, he's putting his foot down, then you know, then you may need to reevaluate, is this really the person that you should spend the rest of your life with? Because you will become resentful towards that person if they're telling you to do something that you really don't want to do. That's where it's really important for you to know who you are and what you want. Stop thinking that you have to conform to the world. You don't have to. You're given a life to be different. Your life does not need to look like my life. My life does not have to look like your life. My life doesn't have to look exactly like my husband's life, or my daughter's life, or my sons, if I ever have them, or my cousins, my sisters, my brothers. None of that. Just because we all grew up together or we live a life together, we cohabitate together, anything like that does not mean that we have to 100% across the board have everything that looks the same. We're created differently for a reason. There's things I will bring to the table, and there's things that my partner will bring to the table, or my friends, or my children, or my family. You know, we all have we're all puzzle pieces, and that's why it's good to find people that you fit with, because you bring something that helps their life, you know, build a better picture as to what they need to, their agenda in life, what their purpose is in life, and they do the same for you. But if you're running from yourself and only trying to conform to what everybody else wants you to be, you'll never be, you'll be a jagged piece. Your puzzle piece won't fit with anybody, because you're constantly cutting off pieces to try to fit to somebody else's puzzle piece that maybe you wasn't supposed to align yourself with in the first place. And, you know, same for our men. I mean, this is the same. There may be women out there who's just like, well, you need to take care of me. You need to be paying all my bills, you know, like telling you like this is the life that they want for themselves, which is okay. But if you are the type of man that's like, I am a normal 9-to-5 guy, you know, I'm doing what I love. I'll have a decent job, but, you know, my mind is not set on being an entrepreneur or running the biggest corporation in the world or anything like that. But I'm happy where I am. I make great money, but I'm going to need help from time to time, especially if she wants all these expensive things, a big old house, new cars, and she wants children, and, you know, she wants nice things. You may tell her, like, I'm going to need your help on something, even if it's just you paying the utilities. But if she has a problem with that and she can't compromise with that and she can't respect that, then you know, then that's not the person for you. And don't try to force your puzzle piece to fit with hers, because it's just going to make you resentful in the end. And in the end, honestly, if that's the way it's going, you're either going to burn yourself out by trying to work multiple jobs or trying to work a job that you really don't like just so that you can make more money, or she's going to leave you. And then you're going to be resentful because you're like, I did something that I said I didn't want to do, or I told her I was unable to do. But I got out of my comfort zone. I did what I had to do, and she still left. You know, so in a sense, I hope that you all understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, it doesn't have to be you in relationships. It can be friendships. We do the same. I've done the same for friendships. I've been that girl in my younger 20s where I wanted friends so bad that, you know, they were, you know, running the streets and having fun, partying, wearing skimpy clothes and things like that. And it's like, I did the same thing because I didn't want them to feel like I wasn't cool. I didn't want them to feel like I wasn't as beautiful as them, because society was saying the it girls, the hot girls, were the girls who were wearing the little, you know, mini dresses and the high heels and looking like strippers, basically. And because my mind was so distorted, I didn't know who I was. I was running away from who I was because I knew that I had a desire to grow a relationship with God. And it's always been a desire, even as a child. And I hated it. You know, this is just my moment of vulnerability and truth for you all. I hated it because I felt like, why couldn't I just be normal? Why couldn't I just have a normal life? You know, why did I have to be the one who wanted to have this relationship with God and who wanted to you know, to live a semi, you know, perfect life, you know, where you try to do things by the Bible, you try to do things by what your higher power is telling you. And all my friends were just having fun and stuff, and it's like I didn't want to show skin. I remember I was at a phase where all through high school, even I didn't like wearing short clothes. I always wanted to cover, like if I wore a skirt, it had to be always to my ankles. And it wasn't nothing that I was taught. It's just, it was in me. And I always felt like I just didn't fit in. I just felt like, what is wrong with me? And it made me angry because I didn't feel like, you know, I could be a normal kid. I felt like I was older. I was way more developed mentally than my age was. And because of that, you know, I started running from it. I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like when I got a little bit of freedom, when I got a little taste for being free and, you know, making my own decisions, which we all are. God gives us ability to make our own decisions in life. But when I got to that stage and I started, you know, acting out and I started doing what I wanted to do, and I broke that chain, and so I thought, which it never broke, because God would never leave you. You can pull away if you want to, but he's still going to be holding on to the back of your shirt. So, but I didn't know that. You know, I was like, I'm free. I can do what I want to. I want to start being like a normal kid or a normal teenager or a normal young woman. And I just want to just have fun. And I just blocked out God for a long time. I blocked him out of my mind. And it wasn't that I ignored him, because I still would talk to him, but it was not like now. It was like I would talk to him, but I felt shameful in a lot of ways too, because I knew the way that I was living wasn't right. But I blocked him out because I also felt comfortable in fitting in with the world and not being, you know, not feeling like I was an outcast, not feeling like something was different about me, or, you know, feeling like I'm going to live my life, you know, not experiencing things. Like that's what you think when you see things around you that are different from you. You feel like you're missing something, which I wasn't, but I felt like I was. And so I started running. That was the part of me that I started running from for a very long time. And it caused me a lot of pain and heartache down the road. And then I had to be set down by God. And because it was like, he was like, all right, you tired of running now? Okay, so let's try this again, you know. And then the healing process of him really just exposing the things I was doing in life, and just exposing the fact that I was running from him and I had no reason to do so. As you said, I was trying to be rebellious because I wanted things my way. And it hurt really bad, and it just felt like getting the worst whipping you can imagine from your parents. And you know, that taught me a huge lesson. Like I don't try to run anymore from myself. I don't try to run from what's in me. I want to be different because God made us all different. The universe, whatever you believe in, made you different, and we're different for a reason. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. I mean, if you go trying to fit in and trying to conform to what everybody else is doing or what they're thinking, you look like the fool in the end, because you're not living your life. You're gonna be old one day, you know, God willing. You're gonna live 90, 100 years old and look back over your life and say, I used to want to do this, but I never did it because I was with this person and they didn't believe in that, or they didn't want to do that. Or I had these friends who never wanted to because it just wasn't important for them to do that. So I always felt like I didn't want to make it seem like I was better than them, or I didn't want to make it seem like the way that they were living were wrong. So I just didn't do it. And here I am at the end of my life looking back and looking foolish. You know, so that's just something to think about. Stop running from yourself, because in the end, it's going to catch back up with you, whether it's now or later in life. And you definitely don't want it to be later in life, because that's when you're just going to sit back and just think about all the time you wasted, you know, and then you're going to realize all the pain that was caused to you throughout your life because you were running. You were running so hard from yourself. You were exhausted most of your life from running. Y'all let me know what you think, though. That's just my take on it. That's just a little bit of my testimony and honesty for you. As always, I'll try to be as honest as I can be, because like I said, I am no different from you. I've done a lot of things that, you know, people will probably be like, no way, you never did that. And I have. So I'm not ashamed to admit it, because that's a part of growth. Being able to finally admit when you've done something, or when you've hurt people, or when you made mistakes and you've hurt yourself. You know, taking accountability over your own life is a huge, huge step and in the right direction for healing and growth. So y'all let me know what you think. Drop it in the comment box below. I love to hear what your thoughts are. I love to talk about it. Keep the conversation going. And until next time, bye.